Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamson Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there so we can talk about all the things that we love. Today on Throwback Thursday, we're looking at Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior. In addition to Mel Gibson, this is also starring Bruce Spence, Michael Preston, Max Phipps, Vernon Wells, Kjell Nilsson, sorry for mispronouncing your name, Emil Minty, Virginia Hay, William Zappa, and Archie Whiteley. So I was curious about the last person I read off, because the last name sounded very familiar. Because in Fury Road, one of the actors is Rosie Huntington Whiteley, and I was looking to see if there was any connection to them whatsoever, and from what I can find, there is none. Anyway... This one opens up with a narration, and this one has more of a budget behind it. And because George Miller was able to get some real money to make this movie, I think he opens up with the narration to fill in the audience, because it's the only exposition dump besides the very end. And the explanation for why the world is the way it is, at some point there were two factions that went to war with each other, and things, well, went horribly wrong, and now there are just pockets of humanity that are trying to survive. You have people that want to generally live a decent life, and then there are people who want to take that away from them, and they're guzzling. This is the first movie to use that word, but there's another slang word that they use for it in here as well: juice. And they say gasoline. So you could see this as George Miller developing the world, and the world itself falling into more chaos because the vernacular isn't as unified as it used to be. On the subject of falling, this is also the fall of Max. And what I mean by that is he wants to be left alone. He wants to wander by himself, get gas however he can so he can keep on traveling. Max never says why he wants to be alone, other than in the last movie, he lost his family, the world is in chaos, and Max doesn't trust anyone anymore. He'll make temporary alliances like he does in this movie, but that's about it. He doesn't want to be with any kind of tribe. After the narration, it opens up with Max looking for more guzzling. I really like that term, so I'm just going to use that. In his search with his dog, cute little dog, he runs into the gyro captain, who set up a trap around his gyro. It's a venomous snake, but Max is faster than the snake, but he's not aware of where the owner of this gyro is. He pops up out of the ground and they kind of have a standoff, but Max ultimately gets a one-up on him and he becomes his prisoner. They stumble upon this outpost, for lack of a better term. A group of like 30 to 50 people that are pumping oil out of the earth and refining it into various forms of gas. And then this group of people is being laid siege to by Humongous. Big bad in this one. Max watches the entire conflict from afar, and at some point Max approaches him. He wants to simply do a trade for some gasoline, but they capture him. They find out they have a tanker that's full of gas, and that's the real reason why Humongous is laying siege to this outpost. Problem is, the people in the outpost don't have a means to transport the tanker, and this is Max's big bargaining chip, because he does see on his way there a Mack truck that'll be able to hook up to the tanker and they can drive off to wherever they want to go. And from there it leads to a pretty exciting chase scene. The chase isn't quite Fury Road level, but you can definitely see where George Miller is trying to figure out how to get the best chase scene going. This is another great movie. After the narration, it goes straight into visual storytelling. There's less dialogue in this than there was in the first movie. I just can't get enough of this awesome world building. It's just fun and fascinating to watch how everything works and figure it out for yourself. And as I mentioned in post, in the last film, it had the audio problem where the music and sound effects were louder than the dialogue. That is not an issue in this movie, thankfully. Another thing that George Miller was able to accomplish with a budget was the brutality. This one gets graphic. Again, you can see where some ideas for Fury Road came from. I had fun with this one. I'm looking forward to the next one. Those are my thoughts on Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and live your imagination.